The Galactic Exchange Station orbited the neutral moon of Vistara, a sprawling metropolis of steel and starlight where 1,000 species conducted their business beneath artificial skies. In the bustling trade sector, Ambassador Krelther of the Zinthri Empire stood at his full 9 feet, his chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the fluorescent lights. His 4 eyes swept across the crowded hall with barely concealed contempt. Before him stood Anna Chend, human representative from Earth, barely reaching 5 feet in her standard diplomatic uniform. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, and her brown eyes met Krelther's gaze without flinching. "You dare negotiate military passage through the Terran corridor?" Krelther's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. "Your species has been spacefaring for barely 2 centuries. We have conquered solar systems while your ancestors still dwelled in caves." Anna's expression remained neutral. "The Terran corridor falls within Earth's protected space. Any military vessels require proper authorization." "Authorization?" Krelther leaned down, his breath reeking of sulfur compounds. "Little human, your entire species possesses perhaps 20 colony worlds. The Zinthri Empire spans 3,000 systems. What makes you believe you can deny us anything?" A crowd had gathered, no merchants, diplomats, traders from across the galaxy. Most watched with curiosity, some with pity for the small human who dared stand against one of the galaxy's most fearsome species. "Because," Ambassador Anna replied calmly, pulling out her galactic law is quite clear on sovereign space. "Shall I cite the relevant passages from the Vestara Accords?" Krelther's mandibles spread wide in aggression. "Laws written by the strong, enforced by the strong. And you, little Earth girl, are anything but strong. Your planet would make an excellent addition to our empire. Perhaps I should recommend it to the High Council." "I wouldn't advise that," came a voice from behind Anna. James Mitchell stepped forward, his casual gait at odds with the military insignia on his jacket. He was tall by human standards, broad-shouldered, with gray-flecked hair and the bearing of someone who had seen actual combat. He placed a gentle hand on Anna's shoulder. "Commander Mitchell," Anna acknowledged with a slight nod. "Who is this?" Krelther demanded. "Another fragile human come to plead." James smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Actually, I'm here to deliver something Anna's too polite to mention." He activated his own data, and a holographic display materialized in the air between them. It was a standard galactic registry entry for Earth. Most species entries were straightforward: population, resources, technological level, military capacity. But Earth's entry had something unusual, a flashing red designation at the top. "What is this?" Krelther squinted at the display. "That, Ambassador, is a Level 7 warning," James said quietly. "You'll notice Earth is one of only 3 species in the entire galaxy to carry that designation." The crowd murmured. Several species began backing away slowly. Krelther's confidence wavered for the first time. "Impossible. Level 7 classifications are reserved for species that have committed Deathworld protocols," a voice said from the crowd. It was a Vaxian trade minister, her crystalline form refracting the station's light. "By the ancients, they're from a Deathworld." James expanded the display. Earth's entry filled the air with cascading data. Gravity at 1.0 g, significantly higher than most spacefaring species. Atmospheric oxygen concentration at 21%, dangerously combustible by galactic standards. Native fauna including predators that could kill most species with ease. Disease resistance to thousands of pathogens. Average human physical strength rated at Class 4 heavy welder equivalent. "Your species, ... Krelther's voice had lost its mocking tone. "You evolved on a planet with that gravity, in that oxygen concentration." "It gets better," Anna said softly, taking over the presentation. "Humans are endurance predators. We're one of the few species in the galaxy that evolved from pursuit hunters. We don't give up, ever." James continued. "The Level 7 warning exists because Earth is classified as a restricted death. Do you know what happens when a Deathworld species feels threatened, Ambassador?" The holographic display shifted, showing archived footage from Earth's history: World War II, the atomic bombs, the Cold War standoff where humanity nearly destroyed itself rather than submit. "You fought each other." A merchant gasped from the crowd. "For thousands of years," Anna confirmed. "With nuclear weapons, biological warfare, chemical agents, we've nearly destroyed ourselves a dozen times. Not because we were conquered, but because we'd rather die fighting than surrender." Krelther was backing away now, his aggressive posture completely gone. James pulled up the final document. "The Terran Defensive Doctrine. Here's what you need to understand, Ambassador. That Level 7 warning, it's not a threat, it's a courtesy. It exists to protect other species from us. The last time a species attempted military action in Terran space, Anna said, her voice still calm but carrying an edge now, was the Quathari incursion 30 years ago. They sent a fleet of 200 warships. Would you like to know what happened? Krelther said nothing, his mandibles clamped shut. Humans don't have the biggest ships, James said. We don't have the most advanced shields. But we have something most species don't understand. We're stubborn, creative, and absolutely terrifying when you threaten our home. The Quathari learned that humans will strap bombs to their own ships and ram them into enemy vessels if that's what it takes. The Quathari survivors withdrew. Anna finished. They haven't been seen in this sector since their government formally apologized and signed a non-aggression pact. That's why the warning exists, Ambassador. Not to threaten others, but to prevent unnecessary conflict. The station's central hall had gone completely silent. Krelther looked at the two humans before him, the small diplomat and the weathered commander, and saw them with new eyes. Not as weak, primitive creatures, but as something far more dangerous. Survivors from a world that tried to kill them every day of their evolution, who learned to fight back and win. The Terran corridor, Anna said, returning to the original negotiation, requires proper authorization for all military vessels. Would you like to submit the appropriate paperwork, Ambassador? I'm happy to help expedite the process. Krelther's pride warred with his newfound understanding. Finally, he lowered his massive head in a gesture of respect. That would be acceptable. Thank you, Ambassador Chen. As the Zinthri diplomat retreated with his entourage, the crowd slowly dispersed, casting wary glances at the two humans who remained standing together. You know, James said quietly to Anna, you could have just shown him the warning immediately. Anna smiled slightly. Where's the fun in that? Besides, diplomacy is about letting people learn their own lessons. Remind me never to underestimate you, Ambassador. Too late, Commander. I'm human. We're all underestimated. She paused, looking up at the artificial stars above the station. Until we're not. And in that moment, the galaxy remembered why Earth's entry carried that flashing red warning. Not because humans were the strongest or the most advanced, but because they were the ones who refused to quit, even when facing impossible odds. That, more than any weapon or warship, was what made humanity truly dangerous.